In our last one, we talked all about building a personal philosophy. Well, today we're digging down to the most important part of that whole structure, the foundation. We're going to uncover those bedrock principles that really define who you are, your unshakable core values. So let me ask you this. Do you ever feel like you're just going through the motions? Kind of like you're on autopilot and you're not totally sure what even matters to you anymore? You know, that feeling of being a little bit adrift? It almost always comes from one thing, not having clearly defined core values. Okay, so before we can build anything solid, we gotta understand our materials, right? In this first section, let's nail down exactly what core values are and why they're the absolute foundation for any personal philosophy that's gonna last. I want you to really focus on those two words, timeless and unshakable. This is so key. See, core values aren't just trends you see online or, beliefs you borrow from your friends for a while. Nope. They are the fundamental truths that guide you consistently from the inside out. To make this a little less abstract, just think about words like these. For you personally, is honesty a total non-negotiable? Or maybe you have this deep, deep commitment to personal growth. Or maybe it's the lifelong pursuit of wisdom. These aren't just dictionary words. They're the potential operating system for your entire life. All right, so we know what they are, but why do they matter so much? I mean, really? This is where it all becomes so powerful. Figuring out your values isn't just some navel-gazing exercise. It is a practical tool that shapes literally every decision you make. Just think about it for a second. The biggest decisions you've ever had to make in your life. What career to go for, who you're going to build a life with, what goals you're going to set for yourself. Now, whether you realized it at the time or not, your core values were in the driver's seat for every single one of those calls. And this contrast you're seeing, it's everything. When your values are fuzzy, you often end up walking down a path someone else picked for you, and every choice just feels heavy, full of doubt. But the moment you get that clarity, your own path just appears. Decisions feel lighter, more confident, and your whole philosophy, it becomes rock solid. Now, here's where it gets a little tricky, but honestly, this is the most rewarding part. A lot of us are walking around with the values that aren't actually our own. They're inherited, from our family, our culture, society. The real goal here is to sift through all that and find the ones that are authentically 100% you. So how in the world do we do that? Well, we become detectives of our own experiences. Ask yourself these questions, seriously. The moments you felt the most energized, the most alive, or the most proud, they're pointing you directly to a value that was being honored. And those times you felt deeply uncomfortable or angry, that's usually a sign that one of your core values was being stomped on. Your own life is the treasure map. Okay, the theory's great, but let's make this practical. I'm going to walk you through a super simple but incredibly powerful exercise you can do, like right now, to nail down your absolute core values. It's basically a 3-step funnel. We're going to start really wide, then get a little more focused, and then we make the really tough calls to figure out what's absolutely essential. It's all about moving from what just sounds important to what is truly non-negotiable for you. So for this first step, the goal is just quantity. Don't second-guess yourself, just brainstorm. What words jump out at you? Think of stuff like courage, peace, achievement, community, adventure. Just get a big list together. Try to aim for around 20. Okay, now for step 2, it's time to make some choices. Look at that big list of 20. Do you see any that are kind of similar? Maybe achievement and success feel like they belong together. Go ahead and group them. Then make your first tough cut, down to 10. This is going to force you to ask which of these really matter more to me than the others. And finally, we're at the hardest but most revealing step. You have to take that list of 10 and cut it in half one last time. This is going to be tough, for sure. You'll be choosing between things that all feel really important. But those final 5 that are left standing, that is your absolute core. That's the heart of who you are. These 5 values, these are your non-negotiables. They're the principles you would stand up for, the ones you would defend no matter what. They should feel less like a choice and more like a fundamental part of who you are. Ultimately, this whole exercise isn't just about finding a few nice-sounding words. It's about forging that unshakable personal philosophy we've been talking about. Because knowing your values isn't separate from knowing yourself. It is knowing yourself. If you only take one single thing away today, please let it be this. This kind of clarity is the source of all confidence, all direction, and that deep sense of purpose we're all looking for. It's the compass that will guide you through pretty much everything else in your life. But of course, just knowing your values is only step one. The real magic, well, that happens when you actually start living them. So in our next one, we're going to talk about exactly that, how to align your day-to-day actions with these core values. So your philosophy isn't just an idea in your head, but a lived reality. Hey, if this helps you find even a little more clarity, make sure you like and subscribe so you don't miss the rest of the series. And now, I would love to hear from you. After thinking all this through, what's one core value that you feel truly defines you? Drop it in the comments below. I'll see you next time.